Thank you so much. Ma'am, I just want to present my PPT also. Can you give me an co-host?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
One second, ma'am. I am doing.
Sure, ma'am. No problem. Started, I asked them to make me as a host because I have to present the PPT.
Ma'am, I'll make you host, ma'am. Later, make me host after finishing
Oh,
your
sure, ma'am.
presentation.
Sure. I'll do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Stop now. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So, good morning, students. Good morning, everyone. Can I know?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your wonderful welcoming. May I know what all the department students are here today?
We have BBM, that is Business Bachelor of Business Management,
Okay.
and then we have
Electronic students, ma'am.
yeah, electronics
BSc
students,
electronics.
BSc Electronics.
Wow. Okay. I'm also BSc electronics student. Previously, previously the degree was not BSc. We had BES, Bachelor's in Electronic Science.
Oh,
nice. That's nice.
Nice. Okay.
Yes, we have some faculty also here.
Oh,
Jhansi madam is here.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Okay, so.
Good morning, ma'am. I am Dr. Jhansi from Department of Chemistry, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Hi, ma'am. Nice speaking to you all. Though during this pandemic, everything got on online platform, still the connection is still going on through this wonderful technology.
Yes,
yeah. We have to thank this technology too. Okay. So let us start with the presentation. I've prepared a small PPT for you all because if I keep talking, you also might feel bored. So let us go with the PPT. Students who wanted to take a small note, or if you want to take a screenshot, you can. Okay. So today the topic is going to be how to plan for a startup and legal and ethical steps, right? So earlier, if you see our India, it has been said that India can provide a wonderful employees for worldwide companies. This is the talk generally. India, we have very good employees, not an employers. We got very good employees. We are very good employee suppliers for whole world, for whole industries and corporates. But now the scenario that the quote has been changed, like more startups and more entrepreneurs are coming up, right? Do you all accept this? More of startups and entrepreneurs are coming up, and more of innovation and creativity are happening in our country, right? So this is a very beautiful, a wonderful change we can see in this upcoming generation. So I hope, I wish you all a wonderful success. Most of the students who are participating in this session will be want you all to come up with your own beautiful startups. All the best for you all. And let us start with the presentation, how to start up, how to plan for a startup. Okay. So first of all, let us see what is the difference between a businessman and entrepreneur. Before we used to have, we used to call businessman, he is a very busy businessman. He is another businessman. We used to call businessman, business. This is a word we used to address a person, right? Now we call ourselves as an entrepreneurs. and I call as an entrepreneur. I also call as a mompreneur, because I'm a mother of 2 kids. I run into different concern, and both the concern I'm into education industry. So I also call as edupreneur, because both the startups I have is into educational wing, right? So I also call myself as an entrepreneur, right? So what is the difference between businessman and entrepreneur? Businessman starts a business which is already existing with an existing idea, where entrepreneur use their skills. Their skills speaks a lot, speaks loud than whatever they do. With their skills, with their passion, with their interest, they set up an business which gives a new product or new service to the society. If they show the innovation, they show a creativity in their startup. Rather than traditionally, they go revolutionary and taking up risk. Businessmen actually avoid taking risk. They invest their taking loans, or they invest in their parent companies, or they do a traditional business. They avoid taking risk. But entrepreneurs, they are risk takers. They come forward by taking risk in their startups. And they businessmen are more of profit oriented, where entrepreneurs are more of customer oriented. That is why past decades, if you see, more of entrepreneurs, more of startups, and more of customer satisfaction, customer support, customer satisfaction is playing a huge big role in the market. And businessmen are market player, where entrepreneurs are market leaders. That is what the difference between. Now you think by yourself whether you are a businessman or entrepreneur. Okay. And what is more important, making money or solving a problem? If you take this question, the businessman would say it is money. The social worker would say solving a problem. But an entrepreneur would see an opportunity to make money while solving a problem. This is the core point you have to remember if you want to set up or start up a business. What is the problem you're going to address, and for that problem, what are the solutions you are going to give? Got it? So this is the most important point. You have to note it down. Your startup should focus on solving a problem. What is the problem you're going to address, and how you're going to solve the problem? So you're going to be a solution provider for. That is how any business is going. It will be popping up in an market, and it will be a success by solving problems. And how to start a startup company in India. So first of all, I would suggest that directly jumping into a business or startup is like jumping into a well without gaining an exposure or an experience. You have to gain experience. You have to learn first. Learning will be a lifelong journey. Just doing a graduation, just reading books cannot give you a practical exposure. You cannot mark up something, and you cannot implement the same thing with your customers or with your team or with your clients. You should have a practical knowledge. You have to gain experience. Whatever the passion you got, whatever the business plans you got, choose a competitor or choose a company where they are giving you an opportunity, work there, gain experience, how the internal process is going on, what are the strategies to approach clients, how they are taking the product or service to the customers, how they are managing the customer satisfaction, customer care team. All this you have to be into the team, gain experience, gain exposure, gain experience. That is how it is. The experience and learning is going to help you to excel in your startup. This is what my personal suggestion. And for few people, you will be already having a parent company. You would be more interested to continue with that. So for those from childhood, you must have seen, you would have got a very good exposure about those business. So you can you can remodel the same business, and you can create a beautiful startup with your own inputs, with your own creativity. So these are all few suggestions I just want to give initially before getting into the subject. So how do you want to start your startup? So the basic point is you should have a few ideas. Whatever, see, business, whenever you want to start a business, people who got that entrepreneur skills or business mind, whatever you see, you will be having an idea. Okay, let us do this. I can do this, right? I can start up this kind of company. I can convince customers. I can bring up clients for my product if my product is this. So you will be having the intuition will keep telling you, this is the right product for me. This is the right service for me. This is the right startup for me where I can excel in it, right? You will be having that intuition. Something will be keep telling you, this is the right thing for you. This is the right business for you. You will be having 2 to 3, but choose the right one, which is going to work out you, which is going to excel you, and which where you have that inner passion, right? So choose that, build an idea on that, and plan and action. If you say, if I take you to in-depth startup plan, if you see, live in future means how this product or service going to help your customers for next 10 years. How this is gonna be for next 10 years. See, I'm going to build an app now. Okay, let us take an gaming app or a social media app, whatever it is. Just imagine. See, initially we had Orkut. I don't know how many knows Orkut now. I don't know how many knows Orkut now. The Orkut lifespan was very less. Maybe for 5 or 6 years it existed in the market. Later on, Facebook came in and took over the market of Orkut. Now Facebook, Instagram came in, and Instagram is taking over the market. But still, Facebook is introducing all the different. They are putting all their brains in Facebook, and somehow they are playing a big market role in the market, vital role in the market to sustain in the market, right? So this is how what your product going to help or entertain or give solution for your clients for next 10 years. That is what you have to see, what will be the future for your product or service for the next 10 years, and what is missing and how this product is going to replace it, and write down a bounds or whatever the ideas you popping up in your mind for that particular product, listed down, and make a blueprint of that. Blueprint is how it is going to work out, how it is going to help my customers, what are the problems it is going to solve, and how it is going to approach the market. All this, take a blueprint and take it to all your friends and relatives, and make them repeat it, make them understand it, and find your team, co-found. If you don't want any founders, if you want to do it individually, go ahead. And if you want to do it with a partner, because some people would always look for a companion to work in with a similar mind, right? With similar mindset. So if you want, you can find a co-founder, or not, you can go ahead with your own ideas, but you need a team, right? So look out for a proper team, and you have to go ahead for your registration. And funding is very important for any business you are planning. The funding is very important. Without initial small investment or huge investment, without the funding, it is very quite difficult to move ahead, because at least the minimum investment is required, and launch it and take it to the 1,000 users, and that is how you keep growing. If it is after launching, if you couldn't take it, then again come back, check all the process where you have gone wrong, again correct it, check your blueprint, again redesign it. That is how the entire plan goes. Okay, and here I want to tell you important steps to make startup successful. So effective marketing research. This is very, 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 very important step. Request everyone to mute, stay on mute, please. Everyone to stay on mute, please. Yes, thank you, thank you. So effective marketing research. This is very important step. This is very important step for any business, any business. You must have seen in Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, you'll be getting few questionnaires to answer. If you're following Big Boss, related to Big Boss, you will be getting few questionnaires, or any market related any brand related questionnaires, you will be receiving few questionnaires. So when it requires you to answer, right? So those are all the data to be collected for the research purpose. So collecting data and analyzing the data is what the research. So to set up any startup, you have to do a basic research demographically or geographically. You have to do a basic research to know the market, to know the demand for your product or service in the market. So what is the research? How you are going to do research? I don't want to go in depth into the subject because it is a vast area. Okay, it is such a huge and vast area research topic is. So whenever you do your PG level MBA or PGDM, or you do PhDs, at that time you will get into a deep, in-depth subject of research. Since you are in graduation, I'll just touch a basic topic in research, and so that you will understand what is research exactly. So data collection is very, very, very important in this, and which also covers web browsing. You can do a basic, who are all your competitors in the market, how this business exists in the market, who are all already using this kind of product or services. All these things you can browse, and you can go through few journals, business journals, or you can observe in the market. You can find out with your friends and family about the product or service, or you can find out few books and know about the books, know about the product through the books. Okay. And in research, the basic thing is about data collection. Okay, the data can be a primary data or a secondary data, right? What is primary data? So primary data is the data which is going to be like a fresh, or the data you're going to collect. Okay, so whatever I told you now, like you're going to observe, you're going to you're going to approach your friends and family with few questionnaires. Okay, and you're going to survey in the LinkedIn or your social media pages, and you're going to interview all your around 500 people, or minimum 200 to 300 people you're going to interview. So after survey, interview, it may be online or email surveys can be, or interview can be over phone. You can interview people for your survey, asking their permission and asking for requests. And questionnaires, it can be again online and emails and LinkedIn. These are all a few method where you will be able to collect primary data. Okay, this is the data where you yourself going to collect on meeting people, and after collecting the data, you're going to club everything, and you're going to the questionnaires may be different questions, like you can ask them to rank them, you can ask them to rate them, you can give 2-3 products or services, you can ask them to compare which is the best. So many different types of questionnaires are there. So based on the questionnaires, you would be applying different tools to analyze the data. So this is again an in-depth strategy I'm just explaining. Okay, so let us leave it there. So this is the way you're going to analyze the data. What is secondary data again? So secondary data, again, as I told you, it can be internal source or external source. Internal source generally used in a big companies, like when they want to analyze their product, how it is going in the market for past 2 to 3 years, they will take up entire marketing results, and they will analyze all 3-4 years marketing data, and they will come whether the product is booming, or there is an what to say, there is a slag in the product or service in the market. Okay. And or finance, how the company is working, existing in the market, whether it is stable, or they have to change their strategy to improve the financial income for the company, or it is going and curve is going down. That is how, again, the finance or HR, how the employees are performing. For past 4-5 years, I can take an employee data. I can see whether the employee performance is booming, or curve is going down. These kind of things are can be done a small research with the internal data and external data. And secondary data, external sources are industry and market data. For your particular product or product or service, you can go industry market at how the industry and market data are performing. You can collect those data, and you can do a small research on those data. And the journals, you can go ahead, you can go and refer journals and magazines in the public libraries, and government database will be available. And customer data, see, once your market or product or service is in the market, you will be automatically collecting their feedback, and with that feedback you will be also doing a small research, which will give you whether you have to redesign your product, or whether you have to improve your service. Whatever, according to your customer feedback, you will be redesigning or reworking on your product. That is how the research will help you for any business with primary and secondary data. It completely depends on you how you want to do the research. If it is a new fresh product, a fresh service which never exists in the market, then you have to go for a primary data. Okay. And if it is an traditional business which you want to redesign, and you have to start your own setup, start your own startup, then you can go to an secondary data, because data is already available, right, in the market. So these are all few points for marketing research. I hope you understood how to go ahead, right? And collaborative teamwork. Teamwork is very, very, very important, because without your team and without a good rapport or good team members, it is very difficult to go ahead in the market. Initially, you yourself go ahead, and if you have a small setup at your home, if you make a small office at your home, you yourself have started up your own setup. Later on, after few years, you obviously you will be needed a team. So team management is very, very, very important. Choosing a right people for right position with the right inputs is with the right resources, everything means a lot. So right teamwork is very important. And digital marketing is booming in this past decade. Any business you can find in digitally, you can any business you can find online now, right? So digital marketing, most of the people, 90% of the people, I can say 95% of the people are available online, right? They have their Facebook account, they have their email account. Whoever owns a mobile phone, they have their email compulsory. And most of the people have their Facebook account, Instagram account, LinkedIn's, right? So these are all few places where you can YouTube. Everyone are surfing YouTube and Google. So nobody is left out. Very few percentage are left out without using all these technology apps, right? So digital marketing is something booming, and so marketing is completely 80% of marketing is done through digital right now in this scenario. And correct price point, this is very, 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 very important. And market research also help you to come up with the pricing point, right? And again, there are so many pricing now. The market is using psychological pricing. What is the psychological pricing? Okay, let me only answer. So psychological pricing is like barter rate, 99, 199, 299, right? So these are all like these nine, which doesn't, it is actually 200 where they have, where they will be giving 199 or 299 or 399 or 999, which we will be thinking only in 3 digits, right? Actually, it is 1,000 rupees, 1 rupee less than 1,000 rupees, but our psychology says it is only 3 digit price, right? This is psychological pricing. So, and what pricing you can keep in the market. See, iPhone cost is depends on the market, and people use it who are affordable to buy that iPhone, right? And there are other phones also in the market, Redmi or Vivo or whatever, for Samsung. So many phones are there, right? Every phone, every brand has its own market, right? Own market. But when you design, when you design, fix a price for your product, it completely depends on whether that pricing, the value is there backed up with that pricing. Okay, whether the value is backed up with that pricing. iPhone costs so much because it has its own advantage, it has its own value, right? Same way, whenever you fix a pricing, it should be backed up with the values. If it is a less price, and if you are going to give a good value with less price, that is what you are going to highlight. And if you want to give your right price for your right values, that is what the customer should feel, right? So this is how the correct pricing point is very important. And complementary benefits, it depends on it is all market tricks with the way you're going to take your product to the market with some complementary benefits. These all some marketing tips you can plan, depends on your product and services. Okay, so these are all few more points I've added in here. And we generally talk about 7 P's in the market. Okay, if you see what are all 7 P's in the market, price is very important, as I told you, and promotion is very important. How you're going to promote your product to the promotion is not like sales. Sales is different, marketing is different, sales is different and marketing is different, advertising is different, right? So how you're going to see, if I tell what to say, if I tell Reliance Trend, everyone, most of the people will know, right, about Reliance Trends. Because if I say the Reliance name itself, everyone in India knows about Reliance, because that is the way they have taken the name to the market. So how you are going to take your brand to the market, that is what the promotion means. And people surrounded by you, the people with you, the people going to work with you, the people you are going to work for, right? And people you are going to serve for. These are all the see, your clients, your employees, and your customers, all are equal for you. All are very, very, very important to succeed in succeed in your market, right? So the people are very important. And product designing or service designing, whatever the product you're going to design or whatever the service you're going to design, it should be like it should solve some problems to the customers, and it should be at least entertaining, right? So that is completely left to you. You can design accordingly, depends on your passion and interest again. And process, how the things are going on, going to if you want to buy a phone, there is some process, right? If you want to get some service done, there is some process, right? How the service is going to be provided. All the process is very important. And the place you're going to set up, the right place where you're going to set up is again a very important one. And physical evidence, which means your atmosphere, your ambience. Okay, these are all few things. These are all 7 points. You are very, very, very important in your marketing. And your right investors, the right team, as I told you, the right financial management, the investment money is very important. And the money you earn from your business is again very, very, very important. And how you're going to handle the funds you received is most important again, right? The marketing, sales and service. After the sales have done, after the customer service have done, your customer care and rapport, the customer rapport, is very, 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 very important. The rapport you're going to build with your customer. And after buying a product, after the service, there should be a team where they will be asking them how was. I think many of you will be receiving the calls from the bank. Immediately, you will be getting another call to take their feedback. Whenever you call a customer care, immediately after the customer care. The discussion is over, you will be transferred to another section where they will be taking the feedback about the customer, the care person, whoever the attended, and about your problems and all. Because all this data again will be done a small research, and they will see whether the customers are satisfied, whether the customers are sustaining with us, or if I'm using an Airtel, how many people are still using Airtel? How many have jumped from Airtel to Jio or Airtel to Vodafone? How many are there using Vodafone? Still, are they using Vodafone, or have they changed their services to Jio or Airtel? Why this has been happened? What are the flaws there are in with Vodafone? So let us improve that. That is how they will go back, and again they redesign their business model, and again they come to the customer in a fresh way with more benefits and more value for their services or products. So that is how the things goes on in the business. So I thought my introduction has been already done by ma'am. So I'm Neelima with decades of years of experience in educational sector, two loving daughters. This is my family, and as ma'am told, I have a few years of experience where I worked with few corporates as an HR, and I worked as an AHA Aerospace Academy head, where as a regional head, we used to travel different places. We used to counsel thousands of students there, and we used to give career guidance. And then after my first daughter, I started my own consultancy to guide students after their intern and after their degree. And after my second daughter, I don't want to stop there. Um, uh, Kids and family should never be an hindrance for us. So again, I started a preschool, and preschool and consulting both are, this is my team, and I've been visited so many colleges. This is a pic from TKR college. You can see there I was around 7 to 8 months pregnant then. Still, I was there to many colleges for my presentations by then. And after my second daughter, I started my preschool. Initially, I started with my consultants are Win Careers, and now it is Top Target Career Consultancy, where we guide thousands of students in our consultancy for abroad and what next after their education. And about my preschool, if you say, as I told you, whatever we do as a startup, there should be some difference you have to bring in, right? As an entrepreneur, I always think how different I am from existing. See, there are so many preschool, there are so many consultants, but how I am different from them, that is what it means. My school is completely depends on how the brain development happens for the children below 5 years. 90% of the brain development happens before age of 5. This so many parents doesn't know, so many people doesn't know. Preschool is very, very important for any child. So this is what the awareness we bring into the parents. And we also say a parent is a teacher at home, a teacher is a parent in school. That is what we also implement in our school. And after we launched our preschool, and when my consultancy was going on, a big hit came in, that is COVID, right? That was a huge hit, not only for my business, it was a hit for whole world. Many business shattered, many business vanished in this COVID time, and in the same way, many business and many startups popped in this COVID time. This is also a fact which you have to accept. Many businesses, many startups, and many beautiful supermarket and online retail market have e-commerce market. E-commerce market was a tremendous boom in this COVID time, right? There are many successful stories during this COVID time, and also many small business have been vanished, and they have also popped up in a different way. right? And that is the same thing happened for us also during this COVID. Like this, we have conducted so many sessions through Zoom, and we have conducted a parenting sessions. As a career coach, I have been guided so many students, and as a parenting coach, I have guided so many parents during this COVID time to keep them engaged. And we also have a beautiful tool in my preschool where every child can know their own talent. What is their born talent? These are all the beautiful new creative and innovative things we have introduced in our preschool and in our business. So this is what I'm saying. Whenever you start up any business, you should be something new and different from the existing market. That is how another point to be added. That is how you will be a successful startup will be successful in the market. You should be creative and innovative. Every time the learning is a process. You cannot think you know everything in this particular sector. Every time, every situation, the learning will be new learnings will be there for you. You should be ready to learn from it. That is what the startup and entrepreneur itself mean. So be ready for that. Keep your ears open, keep your mind open for to learn new things in every stage of your life and every in your entrepreneur journey. Okay. And if you see different types of startups are there. As I told you, small business startups. You can be your or you yourself can start your own business, solo businesses. And if you want, you can team up with similar like-minded peoples to as a co-founder, as a partner. Okay. You can create your own product and services, and you two or three members or four members, whatever your team, you can invest a small amount and you can start your own business. Or you can go for approach for it can be self-funded, or you can approach banks or any organization or anybody any investors to invest for you. Okay, for small business startups and viable startups. What is this viable startup? This is another startup. Like big companies will acquire small companies. Have you heard about this? Big companies will acquire a small company. You know, WhatsApp has been developed by I'm not getting his name. Developed by a person who approached Facebook for a job as an employer, but he has been rejected. Later, Facebook only acquired WhatsApp, right? To know this. And Big Bazaar, they had a partnership deal with Amazon. Later on, Amazon tried to acquire Big Bazaar, but now Reliance has acquired Big Bazaar. So these are all so many stories. You can go ahead and you can go ahead with the magazine. You will be knowing so many mergers and acquisitions. Amazon has acquired a lot of companies. Okay, so this is what a small entrepreneurs will be putting his whole brain in the product or service they want to create, and they want to start up. Once it is a huge click, a big company will acquire with a huge profit for the entrepreneur, for the for the founder. Okay, that will be a huge benefits again. That is one of the viable startups and scalable startups. These are all the company where it is very easy to scale the product, and the service you're going to design will be very easy to scale in the market. You can check ConvertKit. ConvertKit is an application where you can design, where you can write your books, where you can have an album. It solves lot of problem for entrepreneurs. Okay, so because it is solving lot of problem for entrepreneurs, it has been a huge click, and the startup is scaled up across $15 million. You can see mentioned there, right? So very short period they scaled a huge profit. It's been an example for a scalable software. Okay, then offshoot startup. This is another type of startup where a huge company, they want to branch off. They will be branched off as a small company, which is not from a larger company. A small branch will pop up. without any identity. Okay, without without any identity. Initially, they start up, and that is how another startup from the huge company, a small branch of will pop up from the parent company. Okay, this is another offshoot startups and social startup. This is completely a non-profit and charity based startup. Many have will be interested in this charity and non-profit also. This is another kind of social startups, you can say. It will be beneficial for needy people. Okay, and I think till this it's been very simple. I'm explaining you all in a simple term. I don't want to take you all to the big terms, which will always give you a question mark. It will not give you an answer. So I'm giving you a simple terms, right? And what are the steps to start your startups? Okay, what are the steps you have to follow to uh, uh, initiate your startup, right? Prepare a business plan. As I told you, the first decide what is a product, what is a service, and whom you are going to, who are all going to work with you, where you are going to put up your office, or you are going to work from home. You are going to take up your garage, or you are going to arrange a room, office room. You are going to work from your office, or work from your home or office, and what will be how you are going to approach your clients, or how you are going to acquire the customers, what is the price you're going to quote them. And price means if you're quoting the price, there should be a lot of value to be backed up with the pricing. A lot of benefits should be backed up. Complementary rewards or benefits should be there. So you have to plan an entire a blueprint should be in front of you whenever you think or plan for a startup. Okay, as I told you, location and create an corporation of big startups. These are all few things you have to do. A detail you have to give your partners profile, like what are the qualification, experience, and what are their rules. And everyone should give their bank accounts, how liability is there. Although it is a big process again for big startups, let us there are so many consultants also available in the market for every business. The process will be completely different if you go for factory or industries or education industry or a small startups, or if you want to start up with IT sector, or if you want to get into financial sector, or if you're going to start an HR consulting, or if you get into marketing health sectors, if you want to set a digital marketing office, or promotion office, whatever, that depends on your business. Or if you want to set a boutique, or a health and beauty center, whatever it might be, every business has its separate sector for its laws, for its own field, own sector, like any institutions like college or education institution will be run under the trust or societies. And private business, they can register on their own. Registration process will be separate, depends on solo or partnership. Every solo proprietorship is there, partnership is there, business, it depends. Every whatever the strategy you got, everything has its own set of rules and documentation. And even for employee, HR laws also will be factory laws, industry laws, and IT employee laws, and health sector laws. Everything will be having their own laws. Okay, so we have to abide the laws accordingly. We have to know whatever is there already designed according to your product and services. Okay, and determine the legal structure for your business and register your business. And before going to that level, you have to decide the business name, and according to the name, you have to define the logo. Okay, and obtain a business permit and license. Like, depends on a business again, all this. And protect your business with insurance. Insurance is very important. Whatever happens, the insurance sector will backing up you. It will secure you from any damage or any loss or whatever it is. and open a business, a bank account. If your proprietorship, if it is a very small concern, bank account, it depends completely on, you can also use your savings account, but having a current account, you will be entitled to go for an business loans, or approve for any property tax or whatever it is. It will be approved for you if you go with a current account. And obtain a financial capital, this we have already discussed. Either you can approach banks or any private organization or investors to invest for you, or you can go with your own self investment. You can go with your own partners. You partners can invest by your own, or you yourself can invest on your own. Okay, and after all this, you have to get a tax ID, depends on your establishment again. Okay, and I think till here it is clear. I don't want to go in depth because at this stage it is a huge subject again. It is not something to cover whole thing in a day or in an hour, something like that. It is a huge subject. Once you decide on your startup, once you decide on your product, once you decide on a service, then start researching on that particular thing. What all the legal terms have to go, what all the documents have to get ready, what all, how much investment you have to have a plan. What all I'm going to do for registration, how much it costs, for a place to give an advance, how much it costs, to create a product, to create an environment, how much it costs. So everything you must have an estimation. Approach a bank or investors for the investment money. That is how the things goes on. So you have to be ready with this. And project report also, if you people will ask for your investment or for your loan purpose, project report is very important. So while doing project report, you have to undergo all this. You have to prepare, you have to be prepared with the blueprint and investment, where are what are all the marketing or promotional investment, all these things. And so 12 ethical principles for business executives, whatever the entrepreneurs or whatever. Commitment to excellence. So commitment. Here, I just want to give you an example. I know everyone, I mostly give some movie examples because movie is something we relate to our life, right? We relate to every movies, right? So for example, I can say KGF Yash, KGF Yash, the hero who has acted in KGF 2 recently released, right? You know, for past 5 to 6 years, he has been committed to only KGF. Have you seen any actor who has been committed for past 5 to 6 years to only one film unit? KGF 1 and KGF 2, right? You know, so for past, that is what the commitment means, because he got this attitude from his father. His father used to be a conductor. Every day sharp 6 o'clock, he used to wake up. 7 o'clock, he used to take the bus, and he used to, even during the festivals, he used to wake up by 6, and sharp 7 o'clock, he used to take the bus, it seems, get on to the bus. Once when the Yash asked to his father, Papa, why do you go every day? Can't you go 5 minutes late? Please spend some time at home for 5 minutes, then leave, like that. When he was asking, he told, see, if I go late, many people who wanted to go to their schools or colleges will get late. Many people who wanted to attend their offices, they get late. Many people who wanted to see their relatives or parents or friends in hospital, they get late. Doctors get late. So if I get late for 5 minutes, this will impact many who will be late because of me, which I wanted to avoid. So this is what the commitment means. If you are committed, you have to be committed. That is the first ethical value you're going to give in your business, in your startups. As an entrepreneur, you have to be committed. There no reasons or no excuses. You shouldn't allow yourself for the excuses or reasons. Okay, and you have to abide the law. And honesty, again, it's very, very important. Respect others, maybe your team, maybe your housekeeping ladies, or maybe your clients or customers, maybe high-fi customers or normal customer, whoever comes and approach, you have to respect them. And loyalty, being loyal is very important. Accountability, like commitment. You have to be accountable for yourself. You have to be accountable for the problems you're going to solve your clients or customers. Okay, how you're going to solve the problem? You're going to accountable in every once you start your own business, what from A to Z, for every aspect in your business, you will be the accountable. You are going to take the accountability. So you have to be sure for that. And reputation and moral, whatever affects your business, it's going to whatever affects you personally also, it's going to affect your business, your starter reputation. And leadership qualities are very important. Not bossism. Leadership qualities completely different. And this you will know more when you refer HR books. And fairness in pricing, and concern for others, integrity, and keeping up promises. These are few things you have to remember when you start your startups. I hope all these points will be helpful for you. And before ending up, I just want to tell you a small story here. Starting up a business, designing your product, designing your interiors, designing your services, getting lots of clients and getting lots of customers, everything is fine. It might happen initially within 2 to 3 years, or it might take 5 to 10 years also. The only thing you have to have within yourself in this startup or in your business is your patience. Patience is very, very, very important. If not now, if you are committed and if you stay loyal with your business, with your clients, with your customers, what maybe few clients or few customers, if your if your ethics, if you follow all your ethics, the business will happen maybe after 5 or 7 years. But your patience is very important. Here I just want to give you a small story here. I hope you will like the story. Okay, so there was a farmer. Okay, there was a farmer living in a village. He had some acres of land. Okay, acres of land he had. So he wanted to do something with that land. So he started plowing. He sowed seeds all over the land, and he watered it. He gave all the fertilizers. He gave all the strength the soil need to plant. Months have passed, and years started passing, and all his friends and relatives and neighbors started laughing at him. What are you doing? Such a huge land. You're wasting all the materials like water and all the fertilizers, everything on the sand, on this soil. Nothing is coming out, and you're not doing anything. You're not planning for any other thing. You can use this land, acres of land, for some other purpose. What are you doing? Everyone started questioning. Everyone started laughing at him. On a fine day, after 5 years, he waited for 5 years. After 5 years, on a fine morning, the whole acres of land, which was looking brown all these years, suddenly a greenery, all the seeds popped up. Within a month, all those plants grown up to 7 feet. Do you know, anybody know what is that plant? Anybody can answer me what is that plant is? What? On the day he saw all the seeds, all the plants were around 3 feet high. Within a month, it's been 7 feet. It is a Chinese bamboo. Okay, so if he would have listened to all his relatives, friends, and neighbors, he would have not seen that success. Okay, I'm not meaning that you don't listen to anyone again. I'm meaning that you need patience in your business. Whatever you do it with honesty, loyalty, and faith, and trust yourself, and trust in your product, and trust in your service. That is what going to fetch you a beautiful results. Okay, with this I'm going to end the session. Hope this session is has helped you a lot, and gave a good insight about the startup and how to design your product, how to plan your startup and all. And now I invite Mr. Santosh sir from John's Business School to take over the screen for a few minutes. Okay. Yeah. Just a minute. Thank you, friends. Thank you for your lovely time. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, everyone over here who has taken your time to join here. And hope this session gave you a good insight. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Neelima. Thank you so much. You have covered a lovely session. It was enriching and enlightening on how to plan for startup and legal and ethical steps. This is Nisha Mathur. I am convener of ED Cell, and I have with me Ms. Sindhuri. She's IIC president, and Swapna. She's also a member of IIC committee. And Manjula, she's also a member of ED Cell. Thank you very much, Ms. Neelima. You have covered an exhaustive session on how to plan for startup and legal and ethical steps. You have introduced entrepreneur, and you have given us a difference between businessman and an entrepreneur, and importance of financing in entrepreneurship. You have covered 5.
Ma'am, you're on mute. Ma'am, you're on mute, ma'am. Okay, I think some technical error. Let me invite our team, Mr. Santosh sir, to take up the screen. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hello. Good morning, one and all. I am
Morning,
Santosh
sir.
Bajpai. Yeah, madam ended her session with the story, and I'll start my small session with the story, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is all again about a startup, ma'am. I mean, we have heard a story about tortoise and a rabbit. We all heard it, right? One, I mean, rabbit and tortoise race. We all know about it. I mean, what was the result? I mean, how did it end up like? But did we ever, I mean, hear a story between a rabbit and a rabbit race? Did anyone hear that story here? Hello.
Yes, girls, respond, girls.
Yeah. Yeah. Did anyone hear the story of a rabbit and a rabbit? I mean, race among rabbits. Did anyone hear about that?
No, sir.
Okay. I mean, once what happens, there is a race between rabbits, right? So there is one young rabbit who wants to participate in the race, but I mean, many of them do not encourage that rabbit to participate in the race because they feel it is too young. It cannot run. It cannot cover the distance what it has to. And I mean, there is a lot of criticism or negativity spread among in that rabbit where the race is going on. So there are few people who say, okay, you go and participate, you go and run the race, right? And we will see. I mean, let us not think about the result. First thing is participation in the race. So what happens is this rabbit starts running, and while the race is on, there is criticism all around. I mean, they say this rabbit is too small. I mean, it will not run the race. So what all criticism possible that rabbit actually gets. But still it does not lose its focus and keeps running, and finally it wins the race. So all these old rabbits are worried. I mean, they are surprised actually. Why did this I mean, how did this young rabbit win the race in spite of such a big criticism? So I mean, they go and inquire with the friends. I mean, the friends rabbit, the rabbit friends, that how, I mean, what this friend say that, sir, our rabbit is deaf, it cannot hear anything. So whatever criticism you were telling, that was not heard by our rabbit. That was one reason why, I mean, this young rabbit still continued to, I mean, be a part of the race and finally win it. So what I mean to say is, all startups who are, I mean, whoever thinks of a startup, you need enormous energy to, I mean, actually negotiate the criticism and then, I mean, discuss your own point of view and win things over it, right? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, able to hear, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
you,
ma'am.
sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Now, finally, talking about John's Business School. Ma'am, I mean, John's Business School is an AICT approved autonomous college, which is there in Secunderabad, in the heart of the city. And we are approved by the AICTE, and we offer PGDM courses, ma'am, like, right, ma'am? So, I mean, PGDM courses are more industry friendly in nature. The reason being that I mean, we are autonomous in nature, and we take maximum industry interaction into consideration when we are forming the syllabus. So, I mean, our syllabus in whichever stream we design, they are industry driven. I mean, we offer PGDM in finance and finance management and accounting, supply chain management, digital marketing. Then we offer, I mean, HR, human resource management, business analytics. These are the areas which we offer postgraduate diploma, which is 2 years again. And this is equivalent or better than MBA. Why we say equivalent or better than MBA is this, I mean, MBA is an academic driven curriculum, which is designed by a team of professors, and PGDM is actually an industry driven curriculum, which is designed by industry and academicians both. So, I mean, what happened? I mean, in our institution, I mean, what we try to concentrate more is on the process of employment. I mean, we believe that a student or a group should not be made ready for one company, but for the industry. So, I mean, we have mentors coming from the industry who are our seniors. They, I mean, they come discuss their work with us. So, with their guidance and support, we form the syllabus. And the mentors who have helped us in supporting and designing the syllabus, they mentor students, I mean, their juniors, I mean, in a team of 6. So 5:1 is the ratio. For every 5 students, there is one mentor. And that mentor actually, I mean, he actually takes care of the complete projects, templates. I mean, like madam was telling about accountability. That, I mean, that is one very important thing. Accountability in sense, I mean, there was one case which was discussed. I'll not name the girl or a student. She went to an office. She was working, and suddenly she had, I mean, she had a migraine. So she, I mean, actually took a snap, I mean, a power nap for 15 minutes. But then, I mean, after when her manager approached her, so I mean, what that manager said is, I mean, you are, I mean, if you're not keeping well, I mean, it is definitely needed that you need to take rest. But once when you do so, you have to inform your superior so that that work does not get disturbed. So what he said, from the time somebody enters the office till the time he goes out of the office, I mean, the employee is accountable for that particular time. He has to do all that what the company or an organization wants to do him, right? So coming back to the syllabus and the teaching, I mean, we are more industry friendly, and what we follow is, I mean, as I was telling you, we believe that a student, somebody who is studying with us, should be industry ready. And I mean, that is the reason why we get mentors who are working on different projects with different companies, who actually, I mean, support the freshers who are studying, who have joined this institution for a period of 1 year, 1.5 years. They make them industry ready. I mean, back with that, we can conduct jam sessions, aptitude, reasoning, which are very important for somebody to actually, I mean, break the interview and then get into the job. So we have sessions on that. I mean, what we feel is somebody who has joined this institution has to get an employment of his strengths rather than the company's requirement. How it is like, I mean, I always say everybody that jobs are divided into 2 categories. One is where you need a lot of talking, lot of public interaction. The other one where you are busy with the machines. So even the human population is divided into two segments as such, where mostly, I mean, people are interactive in nature or silent in nature. And if we are not, if they get a job which is not suitable to their personality, probably their, I mean, their sustainability in the institution or with the work is not very strong. So we definitely believe very strongly in career mapping. We try to understand the strengths of a student, then try to identify the place where actually he fits in the most. And I mean, this is we definitely have a process right from the admission till his placement. We are very, I mean, we support students in a very strong manner, which when it comes to his confidence, his personality development, his etiquettes. I mean, so one thing what I would want to tell you all is, I mean, this is a very short description what I have told you about John's Business School. We have not taken you through the complete curriculum which we have designed. That we will definitely, I mean, take time from madam, and then probably we will present it before you once when we are in the campus, or when a group of students are coming to us. I mean, as I told, I mean, we are taking opinion from the student, like what type of syllabus they want, what type of education they feel is very important for them. So we are also trying to take opinion from the students. And yeah, it's a small research what we are trying to make with the students, do with the students, that I mean, because they are the one who are going to who are going to work in the future, be entrepreneurs, be leaders. So I mean, we are very much in line working with the students, industry, academics, so that we don't miss even an inch where in the process of our 2 years of education, which we are trying to give it to the student. With this, I thank all of you for listening me, and I'm expecting, I mean, I expect RBVRR to give us many more sessions where we can educate students in on different topics, and probably we can take more inputs from the students and the faculty, so that we internally become more strong in terms of, I mean, making our institution to the modern requirements. I thank all of you for listening to me. And I thanks Nisha Mathur madam for giving me this opportunity to talk to the students. And thank you so much, all of you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Santosh, for enlightening on us John's Business School offering. And I now call our student Prakya from BBM final year to propose a final vote of thanks.
Yes, please. Yeah, it's on to Neelima, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hello. Thank you all. Thank you for this wonderful time. And thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity to address students on this wonderful platform again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Neelima. Yeah, Prakya,
Yes, ma'am.
was formal vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, Neelima ma'am, Santosh sir, respected faculty members, and my dear friends. I am Prakya Dugu from BBM final year, and it gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this session to all the dignitaries assembled here. I would like to thank our beloved Principal Achita Devi ma'am, IIC committee, and Nisha ma'am to have organized such informative session. I extend my gratitude to the woman of the hour, Ms. Neelima ma'am, founder and principal of Artistic Click, and Santosh sir of John's Business School to have taken the time off their busy schedule to enlighten the budding entrepreneurs of our college. As ma'am mentioned, startups and entrepreneurship is the future, and I show my sincere gratitude on behalf of all the students for elaborating and guiding us regarding how to go on about in a startup. I thank you once again, ma'am, for you have shared your experience and knowledge, which I'm sure would help us in our future endeavors. I lastly thank all the students for their participation and enthusiasm in the event, and for being great propellers to make this session an informative and interactive one. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everybody, once again. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Neelima.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, Neelima ma'am,
Yes,
can
ma'am.
you transfer host
Yes,
to
ma'am.
me?
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing it. I was searching for your name.
Okay, okay. B Swapna,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Please, Swapna.
Yes, yes. Got it, ma'am. Got it.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Made,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Swapna, so much.
Yes, ma'am. Shall I end the meeting, ma'am?
Yes, 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 please.
Yes, ma'am.